Alright, so at some point you might have gone through and even changed the aspect ratio on your Samsung smartphone's camera. The toggle to change it is right over here. And I know a lot of people like taking photos and videos in the full aspect ratio because it kinda gives you that full screen coverage. However, it is important to understand what happens when you change this on your smartphone because your photos and videos are gonna look different depending on the aspect ratio that you select and the device you're watching your photos and videos on. So in this video, I will show you how the different aspect ratios look like on the phone, TV or a PC monitor, and also how they look like when you print them on an A4 size paper. And hopefully this will help you take better quality photos. And I'll be demonstrating on the S23 Ultra, but it's pretty much the same concept across every Samsung smartphone. Okay, so the default aspect ratio that Samsung sets from the factory for photos is 4:3 or 3:4 if you are holding the phone vertically. And it is 9:16 for videos or 16:9 if you are holding the phone horizontally. Now, when you view photos taken in the 4:3 aspect ratio, they're gonna have black borders on the phone as well as on your TV and your PC monitor. And it doesn't matter what the orientation is, you'll see them in both landscape and vertical photos. However, there are advantages of taking photos in this aspect ratio, like it's great for taking full-size photo printouts on an A4 size paper, because this is gonna allow you to print your photos with little to no crop. So you're pretty much printing the photo as it appeared on your smartphone's camera. Also, 3:4 is when you take photos holding the phone vertically, and 4:3 is when you take photos holding the phone horizontally. And as you can see, there is very little crop when you take photos and print them on an A4 size paper in this aspect ratio. And this is also the aspect ratio of the S23 Ultra's camera sensor. So this is gonna allow you to take photos in the native resolution, that is 200 megapixels. So this aspect ratio allows you to take high resolution photos. Now if you feel like, you can change the aspect ratio later on by opening the photo in the built-in image editor and then tapping on this button. So you do get a lot of flexibility by taking photos in the 4:3 aspect ratio. Changing the aspect ratio to 16:9 on the phone will make the photos and videos fit the entire screen of your TV and your PC monitor. But now we have black bars on the right and left on our phone. However, 16:9 is perfect for videos because this is the aspect ratio of pretty much every modern HD and 4K TVs and majority of PC monitors. And this is one of the reasons why I record my videos in the 16:9 format. So if you take photos and videos to view them exclusively on a TV or a PC monitor, then 16:9 is perfect. And when you hold the phone vertically, it's gonna be 9:16. And this is also the preferred aspect ratio for uploading shorts to YouTube and also for posting stories and reels to Instagram. As for printing photos taken in the 16:9 format on an A4 size paper, well, you will have to crop the photo from both right and left if you wanna make it fit. And the crop will be from top and bottom if you take photos holding the phone vertically, that is in the 9:16 format. And it's not a huge amount of crop, but it is way more if you were to take photos in the 4:3 format. Now, when you take photos and videos in the full aspect ratio and view them on your smartphone, well, you're gonna get full screen coverage on your smartphone. However, the same content is gonna have black borders on the top and bottom when you view them on a TV or a PC monitor. This is because majority of TVs and PC monitors have an aspect ratio of 16:9. Meanwhile, the full view mode takes photos and records videos in the 19.3:9 aspect ratio on the S23 Ultra. However, you do get a slight cinematic effect while watching super wide videos on a 16:9 format TV. And speaking of cinematic, if you switch to the Pro Video mode, there is also a dedicated 21:9 ultra wide aspect ratio, which is gonna make your videos even wider. I like to stick to 16:9 for videos, so I have personally never used this. But I think this will be suitable if you have one of those ultra wide monitors. And as for taking full-size photo printouts of photos taken in the full view mode on an A4 size paper, well, you'll have to crop the photo a significant amount if you want it to fit properly on an A4 size paper. And you can really tell how much of a crop it is by taking a look at this particular photo. The beagle is totally out of the picture. So I don't recommend taking photos or recording videos in this aspect ratio unless you've got an ultra wide monitor, or if you are taking photos to view them exclusively on your smartphone, like setting a wallpaper. I know full view looks really cool on the phone, but it's got a lot of incompatibilities when it comes to other displays and especially taking printouts. And finally, we've got the 1:1 or the square aspect ratio. Now you might think that this is totally useless because photos taken in the 1:1 aspect ratio will have borders on all three: the TV, PC monitor, and your smartphone. So why would you want to take photos in this aspect ratio? Well, here's the thing. This is actually a great aspect ratio for posting photos on social media apps like Instagram and even for YouTube community posts. YouTube actually recommends that you post photos in the 1:1 aspect ratio, which I actually do. So if you take a look at my community posts, all of these photos are shot in the 1:1 aspect ratio. And even on Instagram, I always post in the 1:1 aspect ratio, and the advantage of this is that you don't have to crop, compress or make any changes to the photos that are taken in the 1:1 aspect ratio while posting to Instagram and for YouTube communities. Now keep in mind, I'm not talking about stories, I'm talking about regular Instagram posts that you see on a person's page. And it's also a great aspect ratio if you want to make wallpapers or video wallpapers for the Galaxy Z Flip 5's cover screen. However, it's not a great aspect ratio if you want to take full-size photo printouts because then you're looking at a pretty significant crop, so that's gonna spoil the photo. Also, the orientation of the phone doesn't really matter all that much in this aspect ratio because you're taking a photo in a square which later on you can rotate as you please. So I hope this gives you an idea of what happens when you change the aspect ratio of the camera on your Samsung Galaxy smartphone. And there is really no ideal aspect ratio. You gotta keep in mind for what purpose you're taking the photos and videos and what type of a screen you'll be viewing your photos and videos on. So my suggestion is to stick to 16:9 for videos and 4:3 for still photos if you want the best compatibility. You can even switch to 16:9 for photos if you plan on viewing your photos on a TV or a PC monitor. And stay away from the full aspect ratio unless you're taking photos and videos and want to view them exclusively on the phone, and that too in the landscape mode. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, make sure to hit the thumbs up button because that helps out a lot. And I've got plenty of videos on the channel about Samsung smartphones, so if you enjoy them, make sure that you are subscribed. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week. This is Tech Guy Charlie, signing off.